Well, hello. A little bit of a change of plan for tonight. What I was going to be doing, it's all about testing kit tonight. I've got the new tent, the Lanshan 2 Pro. Seam sealed that the other week. In with forecast for a lot of rain, so I thought I'd come up and give that a little bit of test. I was going to park up at Heathpool and do 10 mile up on the St Cuthbert's Way, then 10 mile back in the morning, because I'm also testing out new lightweight backpack. And very nervously, some trail runners been mentioned on the channel a few times. Need to get me kit weight down. Really want to be doing some long distance trails, even short ones, 2 or 3 days. And I thought I'd do my 15k's worth of kit. Just isn't that much fun. It isn't the West Island way, and it isn't winter. It hurts a lot more when it's hot, walking with that sort of weight. So I'm testing out a few things tonight. I'm about to head over the grass there, so I know my feet are going to get wet. It's something you've got to get used to and sort of work with trail runners. I haven't got waterproof socks on. It's something I might trial at some. First of all, another reason I haven't done the 10 mile up Heathpool is this forecast in the morning for thunder and lightning, and I didn't want to be that far away from the car if I need to bail if it does start. Where I'm camping here, Simon Side, we're just honestly 10-15 minutes away from the car. So if anything does start to get a bit spicy at night, it's quite easy to bail. 30 minutes home after that. So pick you up and we'll take you along the way. And don't laugh at me second attempt at putting up the Lanshan. I've only put it up in the garden, and that's a lovely flat lawn. So we'll see what sort of pitch I can find. Just played a bit of footy with a sheep poo or golf. Well, this not being the helm too, I've got to make sure my pitch is right to begin with, because it's by no means freestanding, so I can't have a shift around climbing side. See if that's right to move it if it's not. So got to get that right. Anyway, the place we're at the moment is on the same side of the hills, a place called Thompson's Rock. A couple of local wild cattle, Green Basnet and Mountain Hopper 57 have done camps here. But this is Thompson's Rock as well. So, and you can see all the way through, there's a hole goes all the way through that rock. Graham Basnet had a bit of information on that, maybe something to do with possibly an explanation with something to do with an alignment of the summer solstice. But it's quite a mad old piece of rock, that. The weather forecast is crap, but that's a good test for the tent. See if my seam sealing's been good enough, and see how I get on with trail runners. What made us sort of switch was the last walk, what we Wainwright's challenge. It was 23 or 24 miles that day, and it was hot. My feet were sweating. The Gore-Tex just no way can keep up with breathing when we're walking at pace, and also the temperature. And I sort of got a right hot spot close to a blister on my toe with it, and just thinking, you know, the benefits. I've always wore boots. When I was young, I was in Army Cadets running with boots. Then Territorial Army, always ran with boots. Then we work, I've worn boots my whole life at work. So the thought of going to trail runners was very worrying, but the more you do a bit of research, the more, like, you know, it can strengthen your ankles. I've been doing these exercises with my ankles and everything else. I've switched over to safety trainers at work, because they feel like wearing slippers. It's unreal, but we'll see how I get on. It's a trial, isn't it? You got to trial these things, but the thought of having this weight on your boot and still be able to hike the distance. The grip feels okay so far, but very early days. Right, I'm gonna get these wet shoes off and socks, get some dry socks on. I think I'm gonna just chill, to be honest with you. Well, the clag's completely in now. I've had a little bit of drizzle. Not enough to test the seam sealing yet. I've just checked the weather and it doesn't look like it's going to rain. The chances are slim now, which is typical. But I'm liking the space in here. Excuse the mess. Took the wet shoes off, got some socks on, got my thermal layer on. So it's about 11:30. Just woke up, so I felt something moist on my face. Had a feel around, and the winds got up, and the wet side of the tent pressed against my face, so I had a little rub around above my head where I've rubbed. I've beaded the condensation, and that's flicking now. And make it feel like it's slightly raining on the tent. Down the other side, I've had a feel it's not quite as bad. It's certainly not beading at all. Apart from where I've just rubbed my hand, but it's above my head where the most of the condensation is. It's getting picked up. So I don't know whether now we're getting some wind and some air movement, will that dry, or is this something I've got to live with, in a sense of I've gone for the pro, lighter weight, stronger tent, stronger nylon. So we'll see. Now I know what it is, I'll get back to sleep. I've decided against a brew. I brought some porridge as well. I decided against that. I've got to push myself at breakfast in the morning. But I've got a few bottled Lucozade and a few bars. Have those before I go for a bit of a hike. Forecast had changed again. The thunderstorms, which had moved last night till it'll be a little bit later. It's about 11 o'clock to 1. Then it disappeared altogether. And I'd set the alarm. I would have got a sunrise this morning. So I'm just letting the tent air out a little bit. Looking at the forecast, the gusts were up to 28 miles an hour. I felt it at times in there. Anyway, I'll bring you back when I'm packed away. Left no trace other than a bit of flat grass. Packed away. So that's the backpack. See how it uses the sleep pad as the sort of back support. But once that on, that curves to the shape of your back, and it's quite comfortable. It's a 3UF gear. I'll pop the name up on the stream. Qidian or something silly like that. But so far so good. It's we'll tell you after 11-mile walk with it on today. I did want an Atom packs, but the waiting list on those, I think I would have missed it for this summer. But I'll give this a go, see how I feel with a frameless pack, see how I get on, and possibly for next season. And the shoes I went for are Saucony Xodus Ultra 2s, I think they are. Such sort of breathable material on top. As I say, they feel like bloody slippers. We'll give them a good test today. It's certainly windy up here. so far so good. As I say, it's a good test out route this. We've got a lot of rock, stony paths. We'll have some roads to deal with, then some grassy banks as well. So at least I'm going to give them a first test on a good mix of terrain. And the backpack's feeling good. Comfortable straps on the shoulders. I purposely took it to about 9k before water, 10k with water, because when the sleep bag, the rubber sand goes, I've got that quilt which is about 800 grams, but that should leave space for weight for if I decide to take my drone on any trails. So at least I'm giving a test of a weight where I think I'm going to be thereabouts with food, which is about 10 kilogram. But the pack is carrying it well at the moment. But the Osprey Talon 55, which I've got, was carrying the weight on the West Highland Way well until you sort of got over 10 mile, and the straps are just too thin on that. It was all cutting into what's agony, especially by the time we got into day 3. It wasn't too bad in the mornings, but the afternoon you could really feel it biting in. So you're tightening the waist belt to try and compensate it, then you're getting sore hips. So you're swapping it over, playing turns each of who's going to take the pain. Anyway, I'm going to get a march on. But enjoying these so far. Light as a feather. That's done most of the Simon Side Hills now, just the drop over the edge and down the forestry path. I'm heading into Thropton next, and up over the hills and back, drop down back into Rothbury. The sun's out over the North Sea. Looks quite nice over there. So I'm just down off the crags of Simon Side itself there, and on the forestry path. Trail runners were great on the rock coming down. Didn't feel any slippage at all. Just coming to an area where I've done a whale camp before, just over the brow there. My first woodland whale camp. It was very nice. Could have done with a bivvy on that one though. I just bloody love Simon Side Hills, mind. I think I started walking at 10 to 7. It's probably around about 20 past, 25 past now. Haven't seen a soul. So I've done about a mile and a bit downhill on tarmac roads. And this is part of the circular walk. There's Tossin Tower. Mentioned before, this is a walk we do all the way through the winter. Really, it's a training walk to keep the legs going even when we can't get out on the mountains. It's got some good ascent, multi-terrain. It just keeps you fit so you're not knackered when you manage to get a backpack back on your back and do a bit of walking. Tossin Lane Kiln seems to be one of the best preserved in Northumberland. When you do lots of walks around there in Northumberland, the Warney Lane Lakes. You come across a lot of old lime kennels, but the ones at Holy Island are very well preserved as well. Last time I stuck my head in here, pigeon flew at any crap myself. Lord Chalk Rothbury that way, and this is a public footpath we take through the sheep field. It's quite mad in the winter when you're doing this walk after work at night and you've got your head torch on. All you can see is about a couple of hundred eyes just shining back at you. What we found a right pain in the arse and that is it looks simple during the day, but as we get a bit further along, plenty of times we took the wrong track and ended up in the corner of a field and having to sort of search with head torches on for the gate or stye to get over. This sheep breed here, I've googled it but I can't remember the name. It's certainly not as pretty as a Lake District Herdwick, but bless them, I quite like them. Is that like a centre horn on his head? Alright, kidder. I look like right bruisers, don't they? But yeah, I've got my eyes on St Cuthbert's Way. It's a very personal one, that one. Holy Island, I used to spend a lot of time up there as a kid on the boys' camp. My sister used to volunteer in the kitchens and the lakes. It's always had a special place for me, that. Always took the kids when they were small. So starting off at Melrose, then just knowing that's your final destination. And I wouldn't want to script it too much, to be honest with you. I think I would just like to just go until I can't walk no more and wild camp it. Just passing through Shropland now. I would have brought it back earlier on, but there was people on the other bridge with the dogs and you feel like a right plonker just standing talking to the camera. Oh, it's talking to you, but them can't see you. She just look a bit mad. It's a nice little village actually, this. That's where see the Simon Side Hills behind where, well that's actually Tossin Hill across there. See Simon Side when I go to the top of the other hills. Just stopped and stripped off the bottom half of my trousers. I love a trouser like this. These are Rohan, but and the top down to t-shirt. Just stopping here. There's a couple of these on the walk. There's a cup for drinking. Might have trusted it back in the day, but I'm not sure what chemicals anybody's using further up, so I wouldn't take the risk. The woodland part of the walk, just above the Rothbury. We were doing this walk in winter one night, and it's just up here. Andy Glanson was right and said, "Oh dear, I could hear a rustling to the right of us on the other side of the fence." All of a sudden, it leaped, and there was that moment what seemed to last for ages, where my headlamp was on it. It was in mid-air, just flying through the air in silence, and it it landed on the opposite side and just darted, just disappeared. But what a sight. We've spot a few eyes looking back at you when you're walking at night. I like that. I wasn't sure if I'd seen a badger one night, just how low it was to the ground, and I was walking, but as we only saw eyes, we couldn't make it out with head torches. So that's looking back across the Simonside Hills. And that's the crag of Simonside when you come down. We snake through the forestry path and into Tossin before going down there towards Thropton. So now in the lovely town of Rothbury. So we just climbed out Rothbury, and one part of the St Oswald's Way route. Some unusual cows. So, first walking trail runners ever. Mixed terrain, some rocky climb, grass, road walking. So far, absolutely fantastic. Still feel I could do that and a load more again. My feet feel great, but you know, there's a couple of things I haven't went over on my ankle yet. What sometimes happens on walks, and I sometimes think, oh bloody hell, please have my boots on there. So would that offer the same sort of protection, or will that take a while until your ankles strengthen where it seemingly balances it out? Another thing I haven't done, which happens rarely, but when it does happen, I'm pleased I've got boots on with a strong toe box. It's stubbing my toe. I've got arthritis in both my big toe joints, and when I stub a toe on a rock, you know, especially towards the end of the day and you're not lifting your feet as much, just think, thank God I had protection on then. So I would hate to stub a toe in these, because there's no protection on the toe box really, or very, very, very little. So we'll see. It's one of them balancing acts, and you learn from it. The backpack, that has been excellent. My back's sweating, but my back sweats in my osprey, which is supposed to have that, you know, that mesh still puts whatever base layer I've got on tight against your skin, so you're going to sweat. I felt that really comfortable. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it sideways on, how it sort of just curves to your back. That's been excellent. I haven't used the waterproofs, the frog togs, which I'll give a go. Seeming the pants are rubbish. Somebody said they bent down the first time and it just ripped up the back, but a lot of people say good things about the very, very lightweight rain jacket. The tent, well, we didn't get enough rain to test my same ceiling, which is a bit of a shame. Very flappy, and that just might be me learning how to pitch it better. I think I mentioned this morning there's a video from a long-suffering hiker where he does quite a few mods, and he has two sort of extender poles on either side of the flap to hold that tight, because as that woke us up at 11:30, the moist tent flapping us on the face. So I was thinking I've got a little bit of learn will of pitching with that, but lightweight, you know, under a kilo, and the budget just it's unreal, isn't it? Really, there's not much could match it for the price anyway. It took winds were strong. The weather forecast on Met Office was gusting to 28 miles an hour, and it took that with ease. I could have done with going out and tighten the tensioners, the guidelines, and also I think I've got one of those sponge type cloths. I think when I did wake up and there was condensation, if I'd give it a wipe there and then, that's what, because I didn't notice until the wind was blowing up. I think the wind would have kept on top of it. The air movement was a lot better, because it wasn't as bad in the morning with that wind movement. But anyway, the new kit so far so good. I as I say, just waiting for the colour to come. Then I'm ready to go. I can try and get something in the diary to do a lighter summer trail. But anyway, thanks for coming along. It wasn't about drone footage or fancy walk-bys. You got one. It was just about getting out to just test the kit, really. It's sort of one of them good things that, you know, maybe after a year of wearing trail runners, if I can't, still haven't had an accident by then and swear never to wear them again. It's how did you feel on your first sort of instance on it? But yeah, everything so far so good. So we'll catch you next time. Haven't a clue when that's going to be. Take care. Bye.